Yeah, we're continuing the Derby theme, the Northwest Derby this time, and it's kind of Northwest weather. It's absolutely Baltic this morning. Ruaidhrí Higgins and Ollie Horgan know all about that. Ollie Horgan, it's another season at Finn Harps, another season where you have to, I guess, defy what people think of you, stay up and surprise a lot of people along the way.
Yeah, I hope you're right, Johnny. But it doesn't get any easier, and with the turnover of players that we've had, it's probably the hardest task that we've ever had, and it hasn't been easy in any years. But look, we probably know, we don't know anything different than that, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, this season, as you mentioned, the standard seems to be extremely high in the league.
Yeah, it's always high. Even in the bad old days when we started, it was high, but now it's they've pushed up a level, and like the likes of Rory with Derry have pushed up a notch as well. And unfortunately, we lost probably 11 out of 18 of the panel, and it's very difficult to replace one or two of them to remain 11 of them. But that's what it is. That's the battle and the challenge that we have. And look, thank God we're still in the Premier Division to talk about it, Johnny.
Is it fair to say it was the best football you've played in your time at Finn Harps last season?
Look, I mean, that's probably a compliment to the lads that were there last year. The majority of them have gone. It's probably an insult to the lads that got us there and kept us there over the years, and they were proper men. But we need men like them this year coming, and it'll be it'll be difficult without doubt. Probably the most difficult challenge that we've had in my time, let alone before that.
Especially with all the money Higgins has at Derry City.
Yeah, to be fair to Rory, he's after
Sterling or Euro?
No, the Sterling there. No, to be fair to Rory, he's very helpful, and he bought me a cup of coffee in there, which was marvellous, But anyway,
pay for it, did you?
No, it's free.
It's nothing free about the expectations in Derry this season. Whether you like it or not, you've a guy and Philip who's obviously put money behind you. You've developed what looks like a serious squad.
Well, I mean, regardless of Philip selling his business, in recent times he's always been a very successful businessman, so it's never ever changed. The plan from when I took the job to now has always remained the same, and we're delighted that we've got a lot of targets that we set out to get. But people are talking about us being challengers. We finished 24 points behind Shamrock Rovers last year.
You're borrowing from the Ollie Horgan playbook here now.
But there's a lot of clubs and there's a lot of very, very good squads. We've assembled a good squad. We finished 24 points behind Shamrock Rovers, and regardless of who we've brought in or what we've done, that is an unbelievable amount of points they make up. So our target this year again is to try and consolidate in a European spot, and anything else is a bonus.
One of the images I think of the off season was people queuing at the Brandywell. The Mark Farren stand sold out that night in terms of season tickets. There's an unbelievable buzz behind you this season.
Well, it's important, and I think the supporters are able to identify with the players that we have. We've brought local players back, and any successful good Derry team over the years has always had a real core of local players, and we have a good amount of them this year, and that's really important for the city, and we want to give our supporters something to be proud of.
And of course, Ruaidhrí Higgins' brilliant start as Derry manager was punctured when this man went up to the Brandywell. I don't think there were crowds at the time and got a 2-1 win. Would you have any advice to a young man going into management like the fella beside me here?
No, I think Rory's the man giving out the advice, and I'll be talking to him in a while to learn how he's done it. Look,
some talent this season.
Most certainly, yeah. Look, he did a great job last year when he came in. Shortly after the start of the season, they achieved the European spot without what he've brought in, and like obviously there will be huge expectation with Rory. He'll be the first man to say that to you, and look, we wish them the best, except maybe the games that they play against us, because we'll find the gap between us and them, maybe it is widened, and there's no point pretending it didn't. We tried to bridge that gap over the years, and we did to a certain degree, but with what Rory is shaking in and maybe what we have lost, there is a gap there. And look, we can only try and prepare and hope with a little bit of luck on the day to see can we get anything out of the derbies against them. But it's great for us to be still in the division, to be talking about that with the supporters at both ends, and long may that continue.
Just finally as well, Higgs, you brought Will Patching back to Derry City. Obviously you brought McElhinney, you brought Duffy back. What's the buzz like in the dressing room?
There's a good spirit there, and I brought in a lot of players that I knew and worked with, so I knew what sort of character we've got, so they fitted in seamlessly as I would have expected. The two that I didn't know personally were Brian Maher and Brandon Kavanagh, two absolutely brilliant lads, really good young talents, and what was important is that we wanted to bring in experience, but we also wanted to bring in a few younger lads, because we want this plan to be over a longer period of time, and not instant success isn't the be all and end all. We want to build the club over a period of time.
And finally, he brought in Alan Reynolds as well, as if there wasn't enough crack in the Brandywell.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Rennie has a huge amount of experience in that, and like his track record goes, without saying that. He can only, he got to strengthen on and off the pitch, and that's what Rory has done. We've lost both, on and off the pitch, we've lost players and people in all positions, and it's difficult to replace them at our level, and I'd say even Rory probably found it difficult at his level, which is, a couple of steps ahead. But look, as I said, we wish Rory and Rennie the very best, except the 4 games we played them, Johnny.
Yeah, it sounds like you're right in the match programme notes, actually. We've a manager here who's downplaying expectations for the season, and it's actually not Ollie Horgan, it's Ruaidhrí Higgins. It's all ahead of us.